Welcome back, Elaine, to the Zoom room for another Art of Letting Go live session. Make this short and sweet. We'll just have a look at today's email with our daily quote. That'll lead us into today's lesson 2 of A Course in Miracles workbook. And we'll practice the lesson, do a little meditation on it. So just about half an hour. If you can kick it off with the quote as usual, just reading that. Share my screen with you. Yeah, so if you can read the quote from a lady called Brené Brown. It's an American professor, lecturer, author, and podcast host, quite well known, about authenticity.
Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are.
Yeah, so what she's emphasizing there is the need for practicing the art of letting go every day. It's a daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. Amazing quote, really, because that's the essence of the whole practice. So we have to let go of the false egoic self that society tries to tell us is who we are and discover who we truly are. But you're only going to discover who you truly are if you let go of that false self. So to that purpose, we have another lesson number 2, combined with the body scanning technique. So we're looking at breath watching, part of the breathwork course. So this is all part of this ancient teaching from the Buddha, who taught the Vipassana meditation. He taught breath awareness as a very simple way to bring more awareness into your mind. And you take that awareness into the body through the body scanning process, and you start to observe what's happening. So without judgment, the idea of Vipassana is non-judgmental awareness. You just observe, you scan the body, and you notice the sensations going on without judgment. There's no craving, there's no desire. Oh, I want more of that sensation. There's no resistance. Oh, I don't want that sensation. It's just a non-judgmental awareness. And if you practice that regularly, what it starts to train your mind to do is not to judge. You start going into this non-judgmental awareness, which is very peaceful and very calming. And that's, of course, why the Buddha taught it, because he knew that this was a pathway into what he called nirvana, this pure formless awareness, as we call it in our language, where you just stay in this true awareness and everything is peaceful and calm. And the mind, with all of its judgments, has quietened down. So he used the breath and the body as a way in, as a gateway, a portal in to that state, quite cleverly, right? Because you've got to start somewhere. Okay, well, I'm still breathing, so why not use the breath consciously? I still have a body and body sensations. Why not use those now for the purpose of awakening, which is the only purpose these things really have? And that's why Vipassana works, because it's using the breath and the body for the only purpose they're really meant for. So that's meditation you can do. There's a link there. You can watch the video. You can listen to the recording, which is about 40 minutes, which will help you just to maybe go a bit deeper into the technique. I know you've practiced Vipassana already, but it's definitely something worth exploring further. Any questions about it, Elaine, while we're on the subject?
Well, yeah, no, it's a very good system of Vipassana. And the breath, yeah, no, the breath again. Yeah, no, I've done my practice.
Hmm. Good. So you do it every day, do you?
More or less, yes, I do
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
it just helps. What it helps to do is just be aware of the sensations that arise in the body, and
mm,
that helps you get emotional control, because every strong emotion is accompanied by body sensations. So what the
mm,
Buddha understood was the way to really undo these negative emotions is through awareness of the sensations in the body that they produce.
mm,
A simple idea, a simple insight, but he was a genius nevertheless to go, okay, I see that. And if you just observe those sensations as they arise and you don't judge them, then what you're doing is you're letting go of the emotions behind them. And you are actually undoing the negative thoughts and emotions that make up your self-concept. So you're deconstructing your self-concept through this practice of letting go of the results of the self-concept, which is these emotions. In this very systematic way, you're sitting, you're meditating, you're doing it consciously every day. And if you do that in a disciplined way, that's going to really start undoing that self-concept. So it's really nothing more, nothing less than the art of letting go, but now in a specific practice of breath watching and body scanning, which, by the way, is also the essence of mindfulness,
mm,
right? So mindfulness, whole mindfulness movement sprung up in the 70s in the States. A guy called John Kabat-Zinn uh, understood Buddhism. He understood these techniques, and essentially he rebranded it. And he said, okay, well, let's not call it Buddhism or Vipassana because that's going to turn people off. Let's call it mindfulness instead. It's the same thing. We just take away all of those, Buddhist connotations and all of the Buddhist dogma that goes with it, and we just focus on the practice of watching your breath and scanning your body. But that's actually how Buddhism started. So it's almost a return to what the Buddha did 2,500 years ago, because he didn't focus on the dogma and the noble truths and any of that. That all came subsequent. He just focused on, well, here's a practice, and I'm going to teach you the practice, and you go and do the practice, and you'll come to your own realizations. That was how Buddhism started. And then you're like, okay, I'm really getting a handle now on what Buddhism is, the very essence of it. And the mindfulness movement is just a reinvigoration, a regeneration of Buddhism, actually.
mhm,
And all of the other, the yogic tradition, which Buddhism came out of, that's connected to that as well. But very particularly focuses on the breath watching and the body scanning, which are mindfulness techniques, and those are what Vipassana. So when I did the Vipassana meditation retreat, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm like connecting the dots here. I understand Buddhism much more deeply, and I understand now how mindfulness came about. Someone got hold of this and just said, all right, well, let's call it something else. And let's position it differently, which again comes down to, previous discussion about marketing. This
mm,
needs to be marketed right. If it wasn't marketed right, then no one would take it up. And then, it doesn't get out there. But call it mindfulness and suddenly millions of people are interested.
mm,
Brilliant, really.
mhm,
All guided by the Holy Spirit. So there's also a recorded discussion where we did breath watching and light meditation, incorporating 3 advanced letting go techniques. So check it out in the course manual, page 44. I talk about the 7 different letting go techniques, which
like the
are definitely worth looking at
There's the
again,
one with the
because
bubble. I like that one. Pop the bubble.
there's a bubble one, there's an unplugging one related to the matrix, very short to letting go, advanced, some of that ones. Yeah. Page 44, I think. Oh, there you go. So there's 7 techniques that are all powerful in their own right. And experiment with them. You can incorporate them into your meditations. You can do them quickly. Actually, what I really need to do is record meditations for each one of them.
Mm,
I think I said that in the last time we did the course, but I just forgot. So next year I'll do that, definitely. So each one has its own little meditation. You can go, okay, there we go. Look here, download that, listen to it, and it'll guide you through that particular technique. And all of them are in the service of letting go. So they're all just little visualization techniques to help you to let go. And the only way you're going to know if they work is try them. Experiment, try, and you go, okay, that, as you say, the bubble one really works for you. Maybe cleaning the window doesn't work so well for you. Maybe the harikiri one is really not up your street. But for someone who's a Star Wars fan, that's really going to work for them, isn't it? So that's they're different techniques, different strokes for different folks. Yeah. So there you go. It's page 44. Read it, read them again. I definitely suggest. So the idea of doing the course again every year, it's just a refresher. And because there's a lot of stuff here that maybe you don't use that you could. There's a lot of tools that could be useful, but you just forget about them. So that's why we just go through it again, repeat the program. Then in the session, Jean shared an interesting experience that she had years ago. A psychologist, a lesson brought to mind for her, showing that the ideas in Course in Miracles are universal, and it parallels in both modern Western psychology and the ancient spiritual Eastern traditions. As it says in the preface to the text, if you can read that. Do you want me to make it a bit bigger, Elaine? That might be helpful.
Well, I can pinch it out.
There you go. I made it a bit bigger for you. You can,
Okay.
if you can. This is from the preface.
Yeah. The curriculum the course proposes is carefully conceived and is explained step by step at both the theoretical and practical levels. It emphasizes application rather than theory and experience rather than theology. It specifically states that universal theology is impossible, but a universal experience is not only possible but necessary. Manual, page 77. And although Christian in statement, the course deals with universal spiritual themes. It emphasizes it is but one version of the universal curriculum. There are many others, this one differing from them only in form. They all lead to God in the end.
Yeah. So that's a really important statement in the course, because he's really saying that, let's get caught up in the dogma and saying, okay, well, the course becomes another religion, another cult, that's somehow exclusive. And unfortunately, there is a tendency to do that. I've experienced it firsthand myself with a certain organization who shall remain nameless, who said, oh, well, you can't be doing a Vipassana retreat because that's not, you're not pure enough. You're not now in alignment with the course. And I'm like, but you don't understand. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Vipassana is just teaching the same thing. It's letting go of your ego. It's another technique to do that. So just get beyond the dogma of, oh, okay, so this is Christianity, this is the course, this is Buddhism, and they're separate. And listen to what he's saying. A universal experience, not only possible but necessary. These themes are universal, and there's a universal curriculum. And there are many other paths to that, this one differing from them only in form, right? So now you're focusing on form rather than on the content, because they all lead to God in the end. Hello? Did you not read that part of the course? Hello. But anyway, so yeah, that's so be it. Not everyone, unfortunately,
louder than this.
to actually really understand this means that you're well on your way to enlightenment, because you're getting beyond all of the dogmas and the separations of the ego. We also looked at the 12 pathways, discussed 12 pathways to higher awareness. So those are definitely worth reading again, Elaine. We looked at pathways 1 to 3. So just look at the others. Pages 21 to 28 in the course, 27 in the course manual. Definitely worth reading. There's some amazing wisdom in there.
Yeah.
So check it out. Yeah, read those 12 pathways. You'll see again. There's a great dovetailing, a synergy with between these pathways and Course in Miracles. They again they're saying the same thing. There's really nothing different except the language, but they're actually pointing to the same truth, and that's what you start to see. The more you look at these different pathways, if it's an authentic path, then it's going to say the same thing. Just language changes, some of the methodologies change, terminology changes, but essentially it's just another path to God, as he points out here in the quote. They all lead to God in the end. Now, if we could only understand that, I mean, that would just end all of the endless squabbling and often conflict between different faiths, different religions. And it's all the same. All leads to the same way, to the same path. There's only one God. Okay, so yeah, that's something you can listen to and watch in your own time. We talked about the 12 pathways. We did a guided breath watching meditation. So that leads us into lesson 2, which is our next lesson. So let's dive into that, shall we? Just call this. Okay, so lesson number 2. Let's actually do this. We'll just we don't have much time, so what I'll do, Elaine, is take you through this. It's a very, very simple lesson, so I'll just take you through it in a meditation.
Yeah.
So just closing your eyes, putting yourself on mute. Yeah. Closing your eyes, sitting comfortably with your back straight, feet shoulder width apart, cup your hands in your lap. Take a nice deep breath in, breathe in. Notice how the stomach rises, the chest rises. Clenching the sphincter muscle to lock the energy in. Feel like you drawing the energy up your spine, into your heart center, draw it up into the crown of your head. Just pausing at the top of the inhale. Smile, scan your mind. And just look at any thoughts, any emotions, any body sensations. Do a little body scan. Observing all of that. And being willing just to let it go. Breathe out. Exhale out through your mouth. Just letting go. Negative thoughts, emotions, body sensations, dropping all of it, just opening yourself up to pure awareness that is there underlying all of these thoughts, emotions, and sensations. And just breathing in and out through your nose. A nice, deep, slow, rhythmical breaths. I'm just going to practice a bit of breath watching. So observe the breath flowing into the nostrils. Focus all your attention on the subtle sensation of the breath flowing in to the nostrils. And then naturally out of the nostrils. Notice how the stomach rises as you breathe in. And then just the stomach subside as you breathe out. Bring your attention into the breath sensation so that all of your attention becomes focused in the present moment. And the Vipassana technique is to focus on the sensations of the breath in the nose and in the area just below your nose, between your nose and your upper lip. Focus on those subtle sensations of the breath flowing in and the breath flowing out. And that's all you have to do. If your mind wants to wander and start thinking about anything else, it's irrelevant. Bring your attention back to the breath. Just breathing in, breathing out. Stomach rises, stomach falls. And it's getting more and more relaxed with each breath, sinking a bit deeper with each breath into this still, calm, quiet, peaceful state of mind. State of mind without illusions, where there's just a pure awareness arising. It's very peaceful, it's very calming, very relaxing. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. Just breathe, relax, be still. Allow this awareness, this spirit to arise in your mind, in your heart, in your whole awareness. There's nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, nothing else to think about. Just breathe, relax, and be still for a couple of minutes of deep silence. Many thoughts arise, seem to be distracting, take you away from this peaceful, calm state. Just sink inwards. Turn your attention to the breath. Focus on the breath in the present moment and notice that there's this really deep, peaceful, spacious awareness that's there, that underlies all the sensations, all the thoughts, all the emotions, all sensations. Underneath that, on a deeper level, is this pure awareness. And just allow yourself to experience that. This is the peace of God. That surpasses all understanding, as the Bible calls it. Allow yourself to experience this and only this. Another couple of minutes of deep silence. So just gently coming back from this deep state, awareness into the body and the breath, and via those into the world. And on the count of three, you're going to open your eyes. So one, just breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises and the subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. And you pause at the top of the inhale, scan your mind, notice any thoughts, emotions, related body sensations, and just remind yourself of today's idea that I've given everything I see, I perceive, all the meaning that it has for me. So whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're perceiving, you've given it all the meaning that it has for you. And therefore that meaning isn't true. You can just let it go. So exhale, just blow it out, let it go. So breeze of your breath, blowing all these thoughts, emotions, sensations away like a black cloud or dark smoke. It's gone. Pull the lower stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out. Rest here for a few moments in this quiet, calm, still state. Notice the weight of your body. The count of two, pressing down into the chair, your feet touching the ground, noticing what you're feeling and touching. Maybe there's a subtle taste in your mouth, smell in your nose as you breathe in again. Notice what you're hearing, but with no judgment. The idea is to just not judge any of these sensations. So it is kind of happening, you're just aware that that awareness isn't really affected by any of it, and you don't judge them and make them real. They just happen, they come, they rise, and they come into your awareness and they pass away. So they're not real. You start realizing that actually only the awareness that is aware of them is real. That's all, just pure awareness, and the actual sensations come and go. They can't be real. So on that realization, just on the count of three now, open your eyes. You're going to look around. And as you look around, just practice today's lesson for a minute or two. So as you look around, remind yourself that I've given everything I see in this room all the meaning that it has for me. And just look around, up and down, to the side, behind you. So whatever your eyes happen to rest on, apply the idea. Just repeat it slowly to yourself. I've given this table all the meaning it has for me. I've given this wall all the meaning it has for me. I've given this entire room, everything in it, all the meaning that it has for me. Don't attempt to include anything particular or exclude anything particular. It's just whatever happens to be in your field of vision. Glance around fairly quickly. Avoid any kind of selection by size, brightness, color, material, relative importance. Take the subject simply as you see them. Apply the exercise with equal ease to a body, a button, a fly, a floor, an arm, or an apple. Sole criterion for applying the idea to anything is merely that your eyes have rested on it. So whatever you see, say, I've given this, whatever the object's name is, all the meaning that it has for me. Then you move on to something else. And then something else again. Just repeat this a few times. Notice how you're feeling. Maybe there's a sense of ease and rest, sense of detachment. Okay, well, if nothing really means anything, then why would I get upset about anything? It's a very peaceful state, calm state. Notice that. And finally, just to conclude the exercise, say, I've given everything I see in this room, in fact, anywhere, all the meaning that it has for me. Exhale on the truth of that. Rest in the peace that this statement brings for a few moments. Close your eyes, anchor this peace in. You want to stay in this very, very peaceful, calm state. Set the intention to do that. Use the lesson again if you need to. So if you're finding yourself departing from the state, all you've got to do is look around. Remind yourself that I've given everything I see, the situation, the people, the places, the circumstances, all the meaning that it has for me. And if I'm giving it a stressful meaning, then that's just my choice. I don't have to do that. So inherent in the lesson is the awareness that you can actually let go of whatever meaning that you've given anything you see and open to a much more peaceful interpretation. This is the beginning of the transformation of the mind, the perception that this course is designed to bring about. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the meditation and of the lesson and of today's session. So thank you, Elaine.
Yeah, thank you, as always.
Yeah, thanks for joining, being the stalwart of this. Can I ask you a favor, if you wouldn't mind, if you could just give me a testimonial,
Oh,
a
yes.
written testimonial.
Yeah, I will do.
Experience in the last couple of years with the program. That would be really, really helpful because I
Shall I
want to
just
include my
telegram
webinar.
it? Shall I just telegram it to you?
Yeah, I just
Whichever.
send it on Telegram.
Oh,
Yeah.
whatever. Yes, of course.
Fine. Just a paragraph or two in your own language, focusing
Yeah, I
particularly
will.
around, finding more meaning and purpose, and just in your own
Yes,
words. And
I
yeah, if
will
you're happy
do.
for me with your name, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Yeah.
So see you Thursday.
Yes, great. Thursday, 2:00. Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me know if this other lady is going to join.
Oh, yes. Well, I've messaged her, so I've put it out there. So
Yeah.
I've just, see how it goes. Yeah. Okie
Yeah.
doke.
All right.
Okay.
See you then.
See. Namaste. Bye.
Stay. Bye for now. Okay, so that's a wrap for today. Thank you to Elaine for joining the session. If you enjoyed the live stream, then a couple of things you can do. Why not subscribe to the channel? You'll be notified whenever I go live, just 4 or 5 times a week. And you can also go to lifebuild.com. If you're watching the video, you can see that in the background. Just type in that name, Lifebuild, and put a .com on it, or look below in the comments box. You'll see a link. You can go there, click the link, and sign up to join our Telegram group where I send out free daily content, inspirational quote, a kind of blog message on that, sometimes some other quotes, generally at least one shorter meditation on the daily mind training lesson for the day from A Course in Miracles. So you get a breath break or mini meditation with the lesson, and yeah, usually some other resources as well, and an invitation to join our daily sessions, which happen 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. So you'll be notified of the time and also of the login link on Zoom, so you can join one of these sessions, and you can do that totally free for 3 weeks. So check it out. Go to lifepool.com, sign up, and hope to catch you in the Telegram group or in one of these sessions soon. Thanks for watching or listening, and namaste, which means the true self in me, the awakened self in me, acknowledges and honors that same true awakened self in you. And wishing you much love, peace, and joy in that self.